I really miss my family, especially my mother. And I'm sure if she can, she will be here with me.
Perliam is from a rural area in Brazil. When she first accompanied Alan to the United States, she was filled with curiosity about everything. Alan took Perliam to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, where she kept taking photos to commemorate the moment, excited as a child. But Alan was deeply worried. He feared a stranger might take Perliam away. A Jack impersonator asked Perliam to pose for a photo with him. Perliam quickly handed what she was holding to Alan. Seeing the impersonator try to kiss Perliam's hand, Alan angrily shouted at him to stay away. Perliam rushed over to comfort Alan, but he remained expressionless. Back at their residence, Alan called over a friend whose job was to watch over Perliam. Alan would not allow anyone to take Perliam away. Perliam could only pout helplessly. Alan escorted Perliam back to her room, then slept in the living room with his friend. Alan waited until his friend was fast asleep before daring to sleep himself, as he didn't fully trust his friend. When they went out shopping, Perliam clung tightly to Alan's clothes. It was her first time seeing such a large supermarket. Alan enjoyed the feeling. He explained that if he weren't with her, Perliam would be taken away by the police if she wandered the supermarket alone. Upon hearing this, Perliam gripped Alan's hand even tighter. Alan had to go out for work, so he took Perliam to his parents' house to look after her. Only after Alan's mother promised that Perliam wouldn't be taken away by the police did she let go of her fear. She slept alone in the room, falling into a deep sleep amidst anxiety and fear.
I'm absolutely blown away by how stunning Caroline was. But seeing a room full of people staring at her, most of them men, it's a little hard to stomach.
Alan called Caroline more than a dozen times, but none of the calls went through. He rushed to Caroline's photo shoot, and, seeing her with her makeup done, felt she looked just like an angel. But the men around her were all staring at Caroline, which really annoyed Alan. He believed Caroline belonged only to him. When the shoot wrapped up, everyone applauded Caroline, but Alan pulled her away from the studio. He demanded that she never return to that place. But Caroline loved this job. Becoming a model had been her dream since childhood. Alan sternly told her he didn't like those men staring at her. Back home, Alan locked Caroline in her room, forbidding her from going out alone and insisting she prepare for their wedding. But Caroline loved being in front of the camera, so Alan reluctantly agreed to take photos with his own camera and send them to the modeling agency. Caroline posed earnestly in various ways, and Alan took the photos. They captured many beautiful shots, and Alan promised to send them to the agency. However, when Caroline wasn't looking, he deleted all the photos. Caroline never received a reply from the modeling agency. She asked Alan's mother about it, but Alan's mother simply told Caroline to focus on preparing for the upcoming wedding, saying that becoming a model was just a fantasy. Caroline didn't want to give up on her modeling dream. She tried to explain that it was a career, but Alan's mother asked Caroline if she wanted to become a slut.
Today is my wedding. I am a little nervous and I am excited. Yeah, wedding day, finally, huh? Caroline was painfully plucking her body hair, even the hair in her private area, because her fiancé Alan didn't like women with body hair, and Caroline had no choice but to accept it. They were getting married today, and Alan's family had specially given Caroline a gift, a stone from Brazil. Caroline was deeply moved because her parents couldn't attend the wedding. Alan was unwilling to cover the cost of their plane tickets, and Caroline's family didn't have enough money. While Caroline was getting her hair permed, Alan called to urge her to come to the wedding venue. Alan wanted to start the ceremony early. He had been waiting for this day for a long time. Caroline had no choice but to quickly finish her hair and put on her pure white wedding dress. Alan called Caroline's family and began to regret not having bought them plane tickets. Watching Caroline walk toward him, Alan's heart was filled with excitement. They completed the ceremony in the presence of the priest. Alan paid no attention to the remaining guests. He pulled Caroline, now dressed in her wedding gown, into a room. As a Muslim, Alan was required to abstain from intimacy before marriage. But now that they were married, he was eager to be with Caroline. However, before that, he needed to inspect her body to see if all her body hair had been completely removed. After a wild night, Alan took Caroline to a beach in Hawaii, where they planned to spend a 10-day honeymoon. Most importantly, they was far away from Alan's parents, who had been displeased by the noise they'd made the night before.
I tried to call you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Were you in the middle of shooting or makeup or something like that? Oh, you're doing makeup?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Alan called Caroline 42 times, but no one answered. When he arrived at the photo shoot, he found a group of men gathered around Caroline. Seeing her bare arms and thighs, Alan felt as if the sky had fallen. Before the shoot was even finished, Alan dragged Caroline out of the studio and demanded that she never come back. But Caroline had just started her career as a model and truly loved the work. Alan locked Caroline in the house. house. He even kept a constant watch on her whenever she wanted to use the restroom. Alan rushed off to pick out a wedding ring. Even though Caroline begged him desperately, he refused to take her with him. Alan's mother sensed Caroline's sadness and tried to console her, telling her that relying on her husband was what every woman was supposed to do. Caroline's eyes were vacant. She couldn't bring herself to listen to a word Alan's mother said. All Caroline wanted now was to escape this place, but Alan had even hidden her passport. Caroline remained confined like this until the day of the wedding. Alan hadn't notified Caroline's family, but he tricked her into believing they were all waiting at the venue. Caroline happily got her makeup done and got into the car to head to the venue. Worried that Caroline might cause a scene at the wedding, Alan initiated a video call with her family. As Caroline walked into the venue in her wedding dress, a smile finally spread across Alan's face. He had waited 3 long years for this day, and now Caroline was finally all his.